With a career in education spanning 42 years, George Chando really has done it all. Fresh out of Glassboro State College, Mr. Chando was offered the job as a teacher in 1975 for Phillipsburg High School, where he taught a variety of subjects, such as government, U.S. history, and world history. 9 years later, in 1984, he became the athletic director for the high school and would hold that title for 4 years. Then, in 1988, he became the assistant principal for PHS before becoming the principal in 1996. After that, in 2001, Mr. Chando became the director of secondary education. 7 years later, in 2008, he became the assistant superintendent of the school district. And then finally, in 2012, he served as the superintendent of the Phillipsburg School District for 5 years until his retirement in 2017. No matter what position he served in his career, Mr. Chando made it his mission to take care of the needs of students, as well as his staff, and made sure the district was always moving forward. In times of great educational advancements and change, the people of Phillipsburg found a great leader in Mr. Chando.
George, without question, was extremely passionate and enthusiastic about the Phillipsburg School District, about working with students and staff. And that became contagious to me, and I think it became contagious to others that he worked with.
He just had a way of seeing the good in you. He had a way of bringing out the good in you.
He is always ready to jump into whatever situation. He lends his expertise as needed, and everything seems to turn out great.
He has had his hand in everything that's been wonderful in this district for 40 or more years.
I would definitely say he's extremely hardworking. I think anybody who knows him would agree with me on that.
He gave principals and staff great autonomy, but when needed, held those people accountable as well.
George had high expectations. He was always kind, but you knew you had to work. You knew he was going to get a good day's work out of you. There was no nonsense. So if it wasn't for George, his perseverance, we would never have this new beautiful high school. But he was the driving force to get that thing done. And now when you go up there, you say to yourself, you just have to stop. It takes your breath away. What an awesome product for our children.
One of the things that I took from working with George was his commitment to his family.
They're a wonderful family. They really, really are a wonderful family. He values them tremendously above all.
And I have to remember Mr. Chando's words that balance is important, priorities are important, and nothing's ever going to be more important than your family.
He used to work on the weekends a lot, and he used to bring me over to the high school with him, and I always thought that was so cool. You know, he could have gotten all of his work done in 2-3 hours, but sometimes we'd be there for 5-6 hours because he would take a break, go down to the gym with me, and we'd play basketball together. You don't really understand that until you grow up and you become an adult, how precious your time is. It's easy to want to get out of work after only 2-3 hours, but to spend a couple hours to hang out with your son and play some basketball, it means a lot to me looking back.
Well, I don't think I know a person who's been more committed to bettering the education within this town.
He is Phillipsburg. He's just Mr. Phillipsburg.
There's no better person for this award. I mean, he has done it all in his hometown, in the community that he was raised, the high school that he attended, and he did it for 42 years at a high level. And for that, I can see no one, quite frankly, more deserving.
I love you, Papi.
Love you, Dad.
Family, education, and giving pain.
Well, I don't know how to follow this up, especially with all the great student speakers that we've had this evening. And to be able to see a video produced like that, certainly thanks to Nick and to Greg, Mary Jane, Jackie Fry, and Erica and Mark for your comments. I really, feel honored and privileged to be recognized this evening, knowing that the previous individuals that have received this award by this organization, they've also committed themselves to the educational future of many, many students And I just feel very fortunate to be part of that select group. I also want to thank the board members, past and current, who volunteer their time for this organization to provide the financial assistance for students so that they have an opportunity to realize their dreams. When Billy first met with me many years ago and explained the purpose of the organization, I really became amazed at the number of people and the professional athletes that were committed to raising funds to help students attain a career. And really just a note of appreciation to all of those professional athletes and the individuals who year in and year out come here to be able to support the organization. On behalf of many educators, I want to thank you for your commitment to this worthy cause. You know, really, students are being given an opportunity to attend college because of your support and the time that the professional athletes and all these board members pledge to the best organization. I really feel fortunate, you know, to be able to say that I had a 42-year career in one school district. I know that's a rarity in this day and age, but I was provided numerous opportunities and worked with so many dedicated individuals, and I really never thought to go anywhere else but to stay in Phillipsburg. There are several of these individuals here from the district this evening, and just indulge me for a minute while I recognize them, because I've had such a great opportunity to work with them, and I just want to recognize them. You met Greg on the video as the current superintendent. His assistant Maureen was up here on stage, part of the best mentoring program. Stacy Horn, the business administrator. What a great team that Phillipsburg has in place to be able to move that district forward for the betterment of the town and the students itself. Also, Marion Chicani, who was my assistant superintendent for years and worked side by side with me. I want to thank her. My good friend, Mike Hughes, who's a professional and personal colleague of mine for many, many years, and his wife Joan is here. And believe it or not, I'm one of the most important individuals in any organization, especially in the school level, as a secretary. And my former secretary, Lorraine, is here this evening, and I want to thank her also. I've learned a long time ago from my mentors, and I will speak to that in a minute, because that's what I really like about the BEST program, is the mentorship program. But I learned a long time ago, you have to surround yourself with intelligent people if anyone's ever going to be successful, and if a system is going to be successful. And I'm so very thankful for the professional and personal relationships that I was able to develop over the years in the school district. Like I said, a component of BEST is the mentoring program, and I had two excellent mentors along the way. One of them was honored a few years ago with the Lifetime in Education Award, Mr. Lutz. Something in 1975 he saw in me to be able to hire me as a teacher, and then provided me with opportunities, especially when I was a budding administrator, to be able to help me along the way. And I was fortunate enough to take over Phillipsburg High School when he retired in 1996. So I certainly want to thank Mr. Lutz for everything that he's done for me. Even though I retired a little over a year ago, I still make it a point to volunteer in the Phillipsburg and Easton communities, because I feel that's my way of expressing and thanking and showing appreciation for all those that have assisted me over the years. Like I said, I'll repeat it again, that's one of the greatest components of this organization, that they have an established mentoring program that allows these young students to be able to gain the experiences of their mentors to be able to help them along the way. I just want to take a few moments to say some words to the students, since I think this is why we're all here this evening. All of the efforts by so many individuals are giving you a very unique opportunity. You can realize your dreams and your goals by embracing what I believe are two key ideals. You develop a work ethic, and you then, secondly, you honor your commitment to best by coming back into your community. Working hard and persevering can take you a long way in life. For students, please always remember, don't let anyone tell you you cannot do something. You control your own destiny, and you will determine what you can do and how successful you're going to be. To offer the students, an example, and it's never too young to be able to talk about your dreams. My two granddaughters who you saw in the video are here this evening. Juliet is 8. She said she wants to be a doctor. I said, go for it, Juliet. You're going to be a great doctor. Okay? Scarlett, she's 5. Scarlett, about 2 months ago, announced at her preschool graduation ceremony that she wanted to be the president. Okay? And I said, Scarlett, or Madam President, I said, go for it. There's no doubt she's going to be a president of something. Okay? And that was a step up, by the way, because several months before that, her career pathway, she wanted to be a fairy princess dentist. So I think she's come a long way in a couple of months about where her dreams are and what her goals are, okay? My other grandson, Kale, he's 7 months old. Looking at the watch, hopefully he's sleeping, and I know his mom and dad are hoping that he sleeps the whole night for once, okay? But, to the students, it's all about your dreams, but it's also all about recognizing assistance from others. And 47 years ago, I was a high school graduate, like some of these students who received these scholarships this evening. And, perseverance and working hard and never giving up allowed me to realize my dream. And I was fortunate to be able to come back to a school district and stay there for 42 years. Really, if a person like myself, who grew up in Phillipsburg and who took advantage of the opportunities can make it, I'm confident that each of these students that you saw here this evening, with the opportunity and with the support from this organization, will become success stories for BEST. And finally, just a few words to acknowledge and thank my family. I could not have realized my career if it were not for the encouragement and support of my wife. My wife, Debbie, put her career on hold to raise our daughter, Erica, and our son, Mark. She nurtured them, she encouraged them, and they've grown to have successful careers and started wonderful families, all due to her sacrifice and her efforts. And I can't thank her enough. And I jokingly say she's the co-owner of my career, to be very honest with you, because I wouldn't have what I do right now if it was not for her. My mother-in-law and my wife's brothers and sisters and their spouses are here, and I want to thank them for tonight. When I married Debbie 42 years ago, I wasn't quite sure what I was getting myself into, since she was the second oldest sibling. I soon found out that they were a very caring and loving family, with only one exception. Some of them are Mets fans, and some are Cowboys fans. And some of them, like me, are Phillies fans and Eagles fans. Okay? Now just take that combination together. You can just imagine at the family gatherings, it always seems the Eagles and Cowboys play around Thanksgiving and Christmas. Just imagine the family gatherings, what that is like. My wife ends up being the peacemaker, okay? Because it gets intense. It's the only thing I can tell you. But I wouldn't trade anything for it. So, basically, once again, thanks to the BEST Foundation for this recognition. And thanks to all of those individuals that I've had the opportunity to call colleagues and personal friends. Once again, the volunteers of this organization and the athletes are really to be commended for the work that they do on behalf of these students. I'll always treasure this award, and certainly the best of luck to the students as you move forward with your college career. Thank you.